This is a brief instructional on how to create footnotes and put them in your paper. So if you look at the example on the board, on the screen, excuse me, there is a few areas that you are responsible to look for. In this example, it's a book. So you'll see the footnote, the little number, which is called a superscript, that has the name of the author, and then a comma, and then the book title, and you can italicize it or you can underline it. That's your choice. And then the next part is where the book was published, who it was published by, comma, the year it was published, and then the page number you use it. So that's how that would look. Now, if I were doing one in my paper itself, I would go into my writing, and hypothetically speaking, if this were something I was going to footnote, I would go insert, go down to footnote, and I would put in my author. So say my author's name is Shelby Foote. He's actually a very famous Civil War writer. Okay, going back, I need to have the title of the novel itself. I'm going to italicize it, and this would be the Southern Agenda, okay, and colon, how we nearly won the war. So going back, looking at my model, I then I've seen models with commas after the end. If you follow this, that's fine. I tend to put in commas because that's just how I was trained. In parentheses, I take the italics off. It was published in New York. It was published by Scholastic. Okay, go back. I need to know what year, and that was 2005. If you put another comma in, just be consistent or don't. That's your choice. And the page number was 168. That's the page where the fact came from. Now, if I were to use that same source again someplace else, I do not have to put in that long line. So say I have a footnote here. I go insert footnote. Notice it changes it. So now all I have to do is put in the author's last name and the page. I don't have to go through the full citation again. So that's how you go about actually putting in footnotes. And notice the page numbers or the footnotes will change, and there's actually a limit, but the computer will automatically do that. An expectation is that you will cite every single fact. And that might mean you have a lot of footnotes. That's how we expect it. Okay? I will do another video on how to cite a website just momentarily. Okay, this is an instructional video on how to find information from a web page to cite it as a footnote or a bibliography. So there's a few areas that you absolutely need to find. First, you need to look and see if there's an author. And so you make an honest effort. And an honest effort looks like this. You look, I don't see one here. I go down, I don't see any author mentioned. Okay, no name. Okay, so that means the next information I need is I need to know the Civil War website, and that's usually found at the top in the header. So it's the Civil War Trust. So that's one part I need to know. The author, or excuse me, the article title is T.J. Stonewall Jackson. So that's another part I will need. I will need to know, if I can find it, when this page was created. And that's usually located at the bottom, if you can find it. I find it right here, copyright 2014, so I'll just put a year. Today's date, the date that I'm accessing it, and then the web address. Okay, and for this case, I will copy the whole thing. So when I go ahead and I put that in my footnotes, I'm going to put that, say, right here. I will insert footnote. So in this case, because there's no author, I put in the title of the web page, and that is T.J. Stonewall Jackson, and I have to make it look exactly like that. So T.J. Stonewall Jackson, right? And this all goes in quotation marks. this one gets a little adjusted. It gets the single quotation marks. Then in italics, I have to put the name of the website. It's Civil War Trust. So Civil War Trust. And there are commas after each entry. I have to know the year, and we said that was 2014. Date I access, and that would be February, because it's today, for 2016. And then URL. So I paste, and that's what it looks like. It's quite long, I get that. Now if I were citing that at a later spot, say I was citing it here, insert footnote, all I'd have to do is type the article, T.J. Stonewall Jackson, and then I would leave that as it is. We don't need to get you to do more complex things than that. If you want to put down the web address again, you can do that. And you can see that by doing that, it actually moved my page down, which is fine. It will reformat this. And so that would be okay. It's not perfect, but it looks good enough. It's an honest effort, and that's what we want you to do. So if you have any questions, you can speak to me. Otherwise, we're good.